getting some time together and see how each other sort of can perform, and then how they debrief with each other, how they communicate throughout a workout.
Oh, my name. Brodie Preston. Aussie Grit.
So I did 4. Well, I did 8 and 3 and what did we up there?
I think Wodapalooza just looks fun. Like it just looks like a vibe. Everyone just seems like they were having a good time. It didn't seem as serious.
I'll do a lot of this bar to save you girls for the spot. So what's the plan for us? We're still figuring it out. Just be like really like, not like.
Jess Green, Team Aussie Grit. This year was different a little bit because I knew what to expect from last year. I knew what the vibe was going to be like. I sort of had an expectation of what the field was going to be like, so kind of that wasn't really on my mind so much. It was more about just enjoying the team vibe and the workouts that we had to do.
I'm Emily Clements and I'm with Team Aussie Grit.
You fully stabbed. You've got long fingers. I've got long
because I do it. I stab my pinky stabs me.
See, I think all 3 of them.
Yeah, they're.
It's like a chop.
The caliber of athletes that are competing and just kind of out in the crowd and you're rubbing shoulders and stuff, you're seeing a lot more high level like games athletes and things like that, which is quite exciting.
Having Em and Jess, like they're both great chicks, I knew that it would be a fun time and it wouldn't feel like there's heaps of pressure.
I didn't feel like I was particularly the leader, but I think just that presence of like confidence that I could bring to the group.
Beautiful Miami Beach in Miami, Florida. For the 2nd straight year, it is home to one of the biggest fitness festivals in the world. Welcome everybody to the Gym Reapers Wodapalooza.
It looks massive here.
So many people. This is crazy.
Yeah.
How are we all meant to run together?
Everyone's piled up.
So in the beach run event, I had a lot of fun. This was like a nice morning kind of wake up event.
Beach run was quite chaotic because everyone was going together, so we kind of just sat back and just waited for everyone to kind of go before we crossed the line.
Nerves were definitely high, excitement was probably high as well, but it wasn't an execution in terms of skill. So unless you literally die, you can't stuff it up too much.
And then I felt pretty good at the turnaround, so started overtaking some people on the hard sand on the way back.
We did have to go into the water a couple of times, which we really didn't know what to expect.
It's kind of hard through the water to actually make up any ground, but that was sort of a nice refreshing break from the running.
Knowing that it's just a beach run, there's no heavy barbell, there's no skill, there's not something that you might be nervous about. It's just something where you're like, it's just gonna hurt. It is gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, but I'm not gonna fail it, so I'll be okay.
Four at least with that snatch, where she had to do singles because of her hands.
99 Problems was an interesting event. I think I had pretty high expectations for this one.
The plan was for me to start on the bike and get the bike as many cows as possible, so to kind of sprint it at the start.
My job was pretty much sprint the echo bike, do a couple of double unders and do the overhead squat.
Brodie and I would do the lighter barbell a bit more and save Jess for the last barbell.
The hang snatches were moving well. Once we got to that last bar, I could feel as I brought the bar back down to my hip, I just felt the skin start to tear.
The heat of it made the barbell very, very hot and grippy, and cycling snatches always makes my hands rip. I would have loved to be able to help her out more, but she ripped and I had also ripped. So I was just thankful to be able to do it with no misses with the rips that we had.
I've obviously fought demons all weekend, had a sense of don't belong and that I'm not strong enough and I shouldn't be here, like I'm not at this level. So yeah, there is those moments that do go through your head, and I feel like I know I'm not strong enough for this field. With this workout in particular though, I felt like I could still play a part because I could still do a lot of the echo bike and the overhead squats. Yeah, you never want something like that to be the thing that's holding you back. You want it to be like your fitness and your strength. But yeah, those things happen. They're
They're going pretty good now. Yeah, I've been in the ocean a few times and like trimmed them down and stuff, but there was a lot of blood.
I didn't have to do as many snatches. I just did most of the overhead squats.
What bar did the snatches the tear happen?
The 65. Yeah, the last bar. The way it drags, and just because the heat in your hands, the friction.
Does it feel, yeah, you guys look like you're going to
I am going to a fight with the dumbbell.
different snatching with
Very different.
yeah.
You see it's like bleeding through here.
You probably can't.
Yeah, because I can't get the dumbbell like right in my hand, so I probably can't touch and go it.
Yeah, as much as I can.
But I'm going to do the fastest singles that I can.
It'll give you a bit of a buffer, but because the thing is, the problem with rope climbs is, right, it takes traction in the sweat.
Maybe just do some rope pull-ups to feel a little more about.
So Tyson's doing the warm-ups and stuff for the girls this weekend. I'm just bag boy. Glorified bag boy.
Really anxious. This is the worst one for me. It's just like once I hit a legless rope climb, I feel better. Dumbbell's really heavy.
I feel like if she gets too much of a sniff of the partner side, she just hates it. So you've got to be the coach. Just shut up.
You too, bro.
Primed. Consider me primed.
We're on.
You'll beat me.
I'm gonna go pee.
It is Saturday night in South Beach, and the stars are about to take a center stage as we are set for the elite teams and their third event of the competition.
3 Aussie Grit. All right, Grit, here we go. We call it Vice Grip here on the Jess Green stage.
The Vice Grip event that we did at the end was very much you go, I go. So it was very individual.
It was the workout that I was most nervous about.
It was definitely a workout that I looked at and I was a bit scared of because of the 70-pound dumbbell.
Going into Vice Grip, when I saw it released, I love that workout. I love legless rope climbs, love box jump overs, love a heavy dumbbell.
It had the heavy dumbbell. In practice, I couldn't cycle it. I had to reset at the ground. I was definitely best to just split snatch it, and I honestly wasn't sure how 12 reps was going to feel.
I cycled the 12 dumbbell snatches in the first round, touch and go. Definitely paid for it at the end of that interval.
Going to go first, sort of set the tone for the girls and just like give us a confident start. But then coming into it with the torn hands, I couldn't really hold onto the dumbbell very well, so I ended up having to do singles instead of touch and going like I had been able to do in training.
Going into it made me really nervous. Even though my legless rope climbs have come a long way, last time I did legless rope climbs in the comp, I couldn't do them.
We could just do what we could do. Like we couldn't game it too much.
I don't think there's anything special in me that makes me keep going, but you don't question it. You're here for a job and you're here for fun, and you know, you're not just gonna come all this way and not give it 100%.
For all of our rescheduling times, once again, go ahead and seek some shelter.
What's happening?
Well, we come back for 1:30 start and it stormed again. So now apparently there's been another delay and they said 2:30. Will it happen? Probably not.
They're like, we could be here till
Midnight.
Because we had to do the open, I think that was the worst part, was I needed to get the open done.
Once it started to tick over to around 12:30, 1 o'clock, it was very much looking unlikely that we were going to continue the day.
The uncertainty was the hardest part of looking at the radar and going, you know, what's this day going to look like?
Just being in the corral for like 2 hours and then for them to tell us to come back at 1:30 and then it got pushed back again.
Got to keep pushing off my nerves because I knew, another hour, another 2 hours, another 3 hours.
The thunderstorms happened and the lightning, and then unfortunately they cancelled Brodie's heat.
Sandbag over the log. I'm like, what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not vibing the sand. That wasn't up in my head though.
The dogs left the building. I got no more.
I'm just a cat now.
Yeah. The dog doesn't like getting wet.
No, I'm just a fluffy cat.
By then, we all knew the day was over.
Having the workout done that morning was definitely a big weight lifted off my shoulders. So it was really disappointing in terms of I finally lifted the boogeyman off my shoulders of the open workout and I could enjoy the weekend, and then it just got cancelled.
The uncertainty was hard, knowing that those are really good events that we had planned for that day.
At the end of the day, it does suck because the last day for us was definitely a better day.
It's obviously been a big ticket item for a long time, and to only get to do one day is a little bit sad.
Boss. Get it.
At this point, I don't even care. Let's just get it done.
It wasn't ideal circumstances at all, but I mean, it's just an open workout. So it kind of was like, oh well, whatever score I get, it is what it is.
Hold on.
No, 9 after that person. Oh shit. Should have done it out here. This would be nicer. Mate, that was hot even standing there. Brutal. Yeah. I mean, same if it was in the sun or anything, Sure. Yeah. The barbell is my triceps and that.
You're pressing?
Yeah. Oh.
Push 26.3.
It was hard. It was really hard. It was really hot in there, but I'm just glad I got it done. Nothing like waking up.
Now we're hiding under here.
Waking up from a nap at 5:30 and doing it at 6:20, but nothing a monster can't fix. So.
While it still wasn't the best events for us with the ones that we could do overall, I think there is still that level. We still had some really high-end finishes.
Even though we got one day actually competing, we still got to be around it, still got to kind of enjoy the vibe of it.
Going from individual, it's all about just optimizing your own performance. You just only have to think about yourself. Think about other people and the dynamics of the team, and also pushing my body when it didn't really want to do more.
The overall takeaway is, girl, you got to get strong. You have to.
Love to be able to cycle the 70-pound dumbbell like those top 3 teams. So that's probably going to be something I take away to my coach and be like, let's work on that.
A lot of what we do and the reason why we compete is not just to do the competition. It's the lead up, it's the training, it's the people that you're doing the competition with, it's the travel, the in-between parts that make it so fun. It's not just we did well in our workout, it's success. It's I strengthened friendships, we got to do a training weekend, we got to, do cool interviews like this. All these things makes it so much more worthwhile. So it's definitely so much more about the journey and the lead up and who you meet and who you become yourself in the process of doing these competitions.
Aussie Grit onto the barbell. Brodie Preston, Emily Clements, and Jess Green.
Aussie Grit is currently sitting, I believe, in 6th overall, 7th overall after the first event. So we haven't reseeded yet. That'll happen after day number 1. So a lot of these athletes.
88-1, the final block still goes for the leader of their team. Dr. Brendan with that 75 jump out of the middle.